Hello everyone and welcome back to Greenpine Zoo and Gardens, and welcome to our final episode. Yeah, let that sit for a moment. It's gonna be the final episode of the world of cats. That's going to be the name of the building that we did the last I feel like I have to look that up because I really don't know how many episodes we spent in here. Let me have a look first before we go into everything that's going to happen. But first of all, it's not the final episode on this zoo project. It's just the final episode on this huge building. So let's look at the playlist. This is a video number 26 and we did... oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 episodes. 14 episodes on that building. And the first episode was released on February 24th. So we almost built half a year on this building. Oh my god. Okay, we did have quite a few breaks in between when I didn't release any videos, or it took me somewhat longer, but half a year for that building. Damn it. Yeah. But we are finally going to finish it today. That is also the reason why this video is a little bit longer than usual, because we're going to have an extended tour at the end of the video. So you don't want to miss that, because we're going to have a look at all the animals, at all the indoor enclosures, all the outdoor enclosures for the animals. So yeah, you definitely have to watch that. I had so much fun building this huge project. Yeah, also it took me some nerves as well, because not everything was just fun. Sometimes I just wished that I could do something different, but yeah, I'm very happy with it. Some of you guys know that I always wanted to build a cat house or a carnival house. I told you that at least 1 year ago when I started the series Let's Build a House, that I definitely wanted to build something like this, and I'm very happy that we finally did that. And yeah, you can see how much time something like this will take, but it's definitely worth it. So if you want to go for it, just go for it, but know that it is very time consuming. So yeah, building for half a year, having... how many animals do we have in here? I think I said it in one of the episodes before, but I can't quite remember. Let's go through it one by one. We have lions, tigers, cougar, 2 species of leopards, clouded leopards, tigers, lions, cougar, clouded leopards, 2 species of leopards. I think that's it with the big or semi-big cats. Then we do have the caracal, sand cat, Pallas cat, ocelot, and the honey badger. I hope I did not forget any cat, but I think we have them all. So we have 10 cats, or 10 cat species, and 1 honey badger. So 11 different species here in that house. Wow. And the best thing would have been if all of them would have been happy. But as you know, in last week's episode when we built the habitat for the badger, those little feisty creatures were not happy with their space. So for everyone that didn't watch that episode, we had to deselect animal welfare. So every animal is happy now in our zoo and will be happy forever until the end of time. I'm not happy with that, but yeah, it is what it is. Some of you suggested that I could change habitats. And I was, for a short second, I was thinking about changing the habitat from the sand cats with the habitat of the honey badger, because that might make a little difference, and the sand cats would be totally fine with the habitat in the center of the building because it is big enough for them, just not for the badger. But yeah, but then I thought, no. I just did a huge makeover for the whole building and then changed habitats, and no, we're just leaving it like that. And maybe we'll get an update or something where the animal needs of the badger wouldn't be this ridiculous, so that we can select animal welfare once again. But yeah, I don't see that coming. Okay, so just did some decoration on the inside, which I haven't done or finished in last week's episode. I'm also going to make a few little changes on the ceiling, because I had an idea that really looks pretty nice. You're going to see that in a second or so. And then we are going back into the backstage stuff. So I promised you guys that we are going to have backstage areas in here as well. So that's, I think, the biggest part of this video, besides the tour at the end, where I'm creating lots and lots and lots of backstage stuff, which I have saved as a blueprint and which I am going to upload, or at this point which I have uploaded to the workshop. So if you want to use that stuff, just look at the comment section of the video. No, not the comment section, look at the description of the video. I'm going to put the link in there so you can download that stuff for yourself and play around with it. Yeah, stuff it with all the backstage stuff that we do have, customize it, because I'm leaving all the shelves and stuff empty, so you can use it the way you want it. If you want to use it for carnivores, you can stuff it with meat pieces and stuff like that, or if you want to use it for monkeys with fruit and whatever you want. So, but we're going to get there in a few minutes. So, what's the next thing that we are going to do after we finished the carnivore house? Yeah, that's the big question. I think to make the whole zoo look good, we have to go into the spaces that we do have in between the main path and the carnivore house. So we do have one spot left open. You might remember that when we began to build that house, I have often talked about it, which animal we could place there. We need somewhat of a small animal that doesn't need that big of a habitat, and also one that could fit in there as well, thematically, because we do have many of Asian and Southeast Asian animals in that area, so we have to go with an Asian animal. And so I was thinking that we could have a habitat for the porcupines, and I think I said it many episodes before, and you guys also said that this was a good idea, and we're going for the porcupine in the next video. That is going to be home right next to our carnival house. And after that, yeah, we'll have a look. Maybe we're going back into the aviary and finalize our second entrance gate or exit gate when you walk right through the aviary. You can remember that when I was saying that we are going to build an Himalayan area there, which would be pretty nice, but on the other hand, I was planning with a habitat for the snow leopards in the Himalayan area, and I'm not quite sure if I'm already ready to build a habitat for another cat. Maybe we should pause that animal species for quite some time and go back into that when we are finally ready to see another cat. Because I do love cats, but yeah, I don't want to build for them again. Not at this point. Okay, so here you can see what I did with the ceiling. I thought it would look a little bit nicer or even more modern if we are going to put those wood pieces around the big windows at the ceiling. And yeah, I really do like that. I also asked my community on Discord. With that being said, you can join my Discord server if you want to. The link is also in the video description. Yeah, I was asking my community what they think about it, and I thought it would be nice if we only are going to do that for the big windows at the ceiling and not the small ones, because I thought it would be very overwhelming if we did that. So, sorry. So, just the writing World of Cats that is going to go around the building everywhere on every entrance that we do have. And we do have quite a lot of entrances. I think it is 6 ones. So 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear. So that is all I wanted to do. Let's keep it simple and classy, and yeah, I think that's pretty nice. So here we are at the part where I was building all the backstage stuff. And just in the end, that is something that you're not going to see in this video, placing it randomly in the backstage areas that we do have. And there's also quite a few of them. I think it is 4, 5, also 6. We have 2 for the small cats and 2 on the left side and 2 on the right side for our big cats or bigger cats, because yeah, you already know the clouded leopards are not considered big cats. Yeah, animals. I just wanted to talk with you about something that I do have in mind for a few days now, and which bothers me. Going through the news in the last few days, I often read, or do read actually, about humans and animal encounters. Dangerous animal encounters, let's call it that way. So for an example, there are some lakes in Germany, or we do have many lakes in Germany, where especially in the summertime people gather around there going for a swim. We do have a very hot summer this year, so people are trying to cool down somewhere, so they are going to the lakes and go for a swim and play in the water and whatsoever. So these are natural lakes, so most of them are not human-made, so this means there's also life in those lakes, like catfish. And those catfish can get really big. And like almost other animal, when you have babies or if you lay eggs as an animal, you want to make sure that they are safe. You you want them to be safe, to have a chance to grow, to hatch, and whatever. And if someone comes near to that, you attack. So that is also something that catfish do. They lay their eggs, hundreds of them, and they take care that nothing happens to those. So to get back to what I wanted to say, there have been some incidents where people got hurt because of an attacking catfish. And you can imagine the harm that a catfish can do is not that severe as if you were attacked by a shark or something. So you get a few scratches, it might hurt, but yeah, you never would lose a hand, a finger, an arm, a foot, or whatever to a catfish. Not going to happen. So what happened in this case? The police came and shot the fish. Problem solved. Another story that I read in the news is about Romania. So in Romania we do have lots of brown bears. It's the second largest population of brown bears right after Russia that does live in Romania. And yes, the population of the brown bears there have exploded, so there are lots and lots and lots of them. I think I read something about 12,000 brown bears that do live in Romania. And the funny thing is, I read something like it environmentally comfortable or something like that. This is a free translation from me, so don't get too much into it. Environmentally comfortable would be like 3,000 brown bears. So that aside, at this story I read that they are very dangerous for people, for tourists and whatever, and that it is very common the last few years that those animals go into small villages or even cities, and that is a problem. And as I read something like this, I was thinking, no, that's totally wrong, and this is not right. We do come into the environment of the bears, not the bears into our environment. We just tend to kill animals just to have more space to build our homes and yeah, don't care about the environment where the animals live. So that is something that really bothers me, and it's getting more and more and more. So we do have this new mindset with so many even younger people that say we have to take care of the environment, global warming and whatever. And yeah, we don't like zoos. Zoos are not needed. Animals have to be in their natural environment. Yeah, I totally get it. But on the other hand, you're killing the animals in their natural environment just because you want to jump into a lake in the summer because it is too hot for you. And if that animal is not okay with that, you just kill it. There's something wrong about that. So what do you guys think? Yeah. That's weird. That's weird, and that's totally wrong. Okay, but enough of that. Let's go back into what we are doing here in this video. You can already see I built some, yeah, somewhat shelves. The one with the storage baskets that I built, I was inspired, or I think I just copied what Caesar does with his Backstage objects. So you might know him. Caesar creates a very, very, very nice guy, a very creative guy. So if you don't know him, check him out. But only if you come back to my channel. So don't forget about me when you watch what amazing stuff he is doing. Definitely worth a look. So that was an inspiration for what I did here. And there's definitely other creators out there that do the stuff that I'm doing right here, do it in a similar way or whatsoever. But yeah, the one that I do remember that I definitely copied is Caesar. And also, not to forget about, Sonja Lalalu for the freezers, because she did very similar things, or does very similar things in her videos when she's building her zoos. She is very, very creative as well, and does amazing stuff. So definitely check her out, Sonja Lalalu. She's also here on YouTube. She's a German creator, but you can watch her videos nevertheless, because she doesn't make a voiceover right now for her series. I think it's the City Zoo. No, it's not called City Zoo. It's just Zoological Garden. So check that out. It's just with music and inspiring builds. You definitely don't want to miss that. And also, some of that stuff I also might have seen by Herr Badatz. That's also doing amazing stuff here on YouTube. He took a short break, a creative break, because he just wasn't feeling Planet Zoo anymore. But he's back now with his dryland zoo, zoo in the desert environment. So if you want to check that out, you can do so as well. Also an amazing creator, very, very creative. His rock work is out of this world, so really out of this world, because he uses so many rocks for just a single habitat. Yeah, the piece count is amazing. Yeah, so is it called cabins? The thing that I built first? Let me look that one up. That is a word that I can't remember at all. So in German it is called Schrank. Ah, not cabin, cabinet. Cabinet, wardrobe, closet. Closet? Yeah. That's it. Also a little cupboard, a little sink, table, something where all of the shovels and stuff will hang on. So it's just anything that I could think about that would be needed or would be seen in a backstage area. Just building some transportation boxes here, just two of them. A bigger and a smaller one for the cats, where you could actually move them from one habitat to another. And then that's it. And as I said, I just placed them randomly in our backstage areas, and that's all I did. Yeah, and I also do wish we would have more of those signs that we have in game. So we have signs for almost every animal, not for every animal I have to say, but almost every animal. We do have signs for all our guest facilities, for our staff facilities, but yeah, something like, how do I say that? Yeah, those signs that tell you to not do something or whatever, they are still missing, and I wish we would have them. Yes, of course, we can do that ourselves and can upload it by using the custom billboards and stuff like that, but wouldn't it be nice when we would have those in-game already? I mean, we do have a few of them, don't get me wrong. We do have the ones that says don't walk through here, don't go in there, but yeah, just some more, like don't feed the animals, don't touch the animals, don't tap the glass, something like this. Or even for the backstage stuff, when you do have dangerous animals or poison animals, like for the snakes or something like that, just a little sign on the side, beware, don't come too close, or whatever, would be really cool. Yeah, I was thinking about what else we could do, but then I thought about the water supplies. So if you had to change the water for the animals in their little pools, for example, we do need some water in here as well. So I built this little podium here, put on top of it the next word I have to look up, the barrels, and just some next word and just some buckets underneath them, so that you could actually get your water from there and yeah, fill up the water supplies for the animals. Oh, and if you think about anything else that you could use in a backstage area or that is missing in a backstage area, just let me know in the comment section, and I will go back into that and add that to our backstage stuff, so that you can use those as well, or we can use those as well. And in the future, we don't have to build any backstage stuff ever again. We just can use those pieces in here, just customize it maybe a little bit, but yeah, always go back to our little backstage set that we do have here. And that is also the reason why I left those freezers empty and the shelves empty, because if we are going to put it anywhere, we can customize it the way we want to. So we can put fruit or vegetables or meat pieces in there, and yeah. Oh, and just a little tip, because I did that in the past. I think it was in Brooksburg Zoo. Brooksburg or Litchfield, I just don't know anymore. You could also use the animal enrichment, the food enrichment items, to put into the freezer, like the ice cube and whatever. If you don't have any barriers right next to it, or a path or whatever that is going to block it, you have to put it on the bottom of the freezer, just because the little silver thing that is underneath there. And Yeah, you also have to make sure that you deselect the button where your food gets rotten. Because otherwise your keepers are not going to change that, because the animal enrichment item is not within a habitat. So they are not going there and throw it away and put a new one there. They just leave it there and it starts to stink, and yeah, you get the green fog and whatsoever. So if you use that, just remember that you deselect the option that your food gets rotten. So there is something that I wanted to show you. That is also something that I saw with Sonia Lalalu. She was using those Australian signs, painting it like a piece of meat and putting it into a freezer. So I thought that was a great idea and I just stole that. Not the first time, I did it in the past as well. So, but with that being said, we are at the end of today's video and we are also at the end of our project. We're just strolling around a little bit here and have a look at our habitats and some of the animals that we can see, like the clouded leopard that you already saw here. We're going to go around the outdoor habitats first and then back indoor and watch the house from the inside. I hope you guys did enjoy this project. As I said, it was massive. I don't know how many hours got into this building, but it was many hours. As I said, almost half a year that I was building on this. I hope it turned out good. I think it did. And I'm very excited to go into the next projects here in Greenpine Zoo and Gardens, with next week being a habitat for the porcupines right next to the habitat for the clouded leopards and our main path that is coming from the side of the Asian water buffaloes. And maybe after that we want to add another Asian habitat. I'm thinking about a bigger one, a combined habitat for the Indian rhinos, the nilgai and the black buck, which would be totally amazing. Okay, so guys, enjoy the rest of the video, enjoy the rest of the tour. Say goodbye to our big cat house. No, not big cat house, World of Cats, that's the name, here it is. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, hit subscribe on my channel and comment on everything here in our cat house. What is your favorite animal in here? What is your favorite habitat? What are you looking forward to in the future of Greenpine Zoo and Gardens? Okay, so have a great time. See you in the next video and have a great start into the new week. Bye guys!